Bone meal is one of the most important resources in the entire Minecraft game. It can be used to gain an infinite amount of trees, plants, flowers, and is required for several must-have automatic farms. So in this video I'm going to be showing you the 3 best bone meal methods and farms for your survival world from early game to late game. The first two will work on Java edition as well. If you like these kind of tutorials and want to support me, then I'd appreciate your subscription. Thanks. And now let's get straight into it. The first method is for all of you that want to quickly farm a few stacks of bone meal by hand. This is very early game friendly because you don't have to build any kind of farm, you just have to be in the nether dimension of Minecraft. Now you want to search for these Sand Valley biomes that you find pretty commonly in the Minecraft nether dimension. There you find several of these so-called fossils, and as you can see they are made out of bone blocks. Each one is made from just a few to about 30 blocks of bone meal, and as you know, every bone meal block equals 9 bone meal items. So in this case, this exact fossil is made out of 17 blocks, so equals to a total amount of 2 stacks and 25 bone meal. Let's look at the other one that I found right here. This is made out of 26 bone meal blocks, so in total 3 stacks and 42 bone meal. So within a few blocks and about 2 to 3 minutes of mining these blocks, you already got about 6 stacks of bone meal and can use it for your survival world. In addition, you'll find many of these around in the Sand Valley, and the Sand Valley itself isn't that rare as well. If you don't know how to find these, you can't find anything, or you just want to make your life easier, then you can go to the website chunkbase.com, enter your seed, your Minecraft Bedrock 1.19 version, and then you can use the biome finder to search for these Sand Valleys. Also, if you want to, you can kill these skeletons that spawn here very frequently to get an extra amount of bones, which can be crafted easily into bone meal and will give you some extra arrows and bows as well. Let's come to the second method, and this one is for everyone that needs an automatic or semi-automatic and easy to build cheap farm to continuously get your bone meal. This farm will produce up to 31 stacks of bone meal an hour, but more on that later on. Also, this exact design will provide you a quite good amount of experience, so it is perfect for early game as well. All the items you're gonna need to build this exact farm design are 2 buckets of water, a button, 2 chests, 2 slabs and a hopper. This farm uses a skeleton spotter to automatically get yourself these skeletons. You can kill them either by hand or by just dropping them a high distance, so either semi-automatic or fully AFK, and you can find these spawners pretty frequently in caves underground, in deep slate and normal stone regions. However, if you don't want to build this farm, keep watching because we have a third method as well on this compilation. So when you found your spawner, you should have a room that has the size 5 by 5, all covered in cobblestone. Outgoing from the spawner in the middle, you should have 2 blocks in every direction until you hit the cobblestone wall. Now the first step is to get rid of all the cobblestone. That includes all these walls and the floor. Now you should have a room that has the size 7 by 7 by 4, and the next step to do is to get rid of 2 more layers in the floor. Now that you have done that, you want to come to one of these 4 sides of the room. You want to clear out 1 row of blocks and place water in this shape like this. You could use 2 water buckets to create an infinite source of water so that you can easily place all these 7 water blocks. Next thing to do is to come to the opposite side, so where the water flows to, and then clear out a 3 by 1 by 7 shape, something looking like this. And after doing this, you want to clear out 1 more row of blocks and just place water in one of the 2 corners. Now, wherever a skeleton spawns, it should always flow to this exact block, and this is the block where you want to place the button, so there is no water on top of that block. Now, on this block, you want to dig down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks, and then clear out a room where you can store all these items. I recommend building this room in a 3x2x4 manner. Now I did that and I placed a torch to light everything up. Then below the hole you want to place a chest right here and a hopper exactly below the hole with a slab on top. You can use every slab that you want to and another slab right here. As you can see, we can still open the chest, and then what you want to do is to dig up right here. You want to dig all to the top and then place some ladders so that you can easily access this spot. To start the farm, we have to go up some blocks at the ladder, about 10, and then dig into this direction so that you can get rid of the torch that should be on top of the spawner. As you can see, if we destroy the torch, then skeletons will start spawning, and you want to cover up the hole you dug. All the skeletons will drop down onto the slab right here, and in this semi-automatic design, we now just have to kill them using our sword. Now, if you don't have looting on your sword, I don't recommend this exact design, because here you have to kill them manually. This only makes sense if you have looting on your sword. If you have looting on your sword, this will dramatically increase your rates for the bones that you can get out of these skeletons, and you can craft these bones into bone meal. Now, if you don't have looting on your sword, then you just have to extend this dropping hole to a total height of more than 23 blocks. By doing this, these skeletons will die when they hit the floor. But when doing this, you want to make sure that your AFK spot is within a 16 block radius of the spawn itself, otherwise mobs won't spawn. Now, if you take out the bones and try to craft it into the bone meal, then you'll see that each bone equals 3 bone meal items. With a looting 3 sword, this will get you to about 31 stacks of bone meal within 1 hour, and I think this is a pretty good rate for such an easy early game farm. Now, the moment we all have been waiting for, the last and best farm on this list, and this is for all of the advanced mid-game or late-game players that want the best farm possible, fully automatic and AFKable, giving roughly 48 stacks of bone meal an hour, yet easy to build in survival mode because it is pretty cheap. And here it is a 0-tick kelp bone meal farm. Some of you might have expected a moss bone meal farm to be on this list, but from my experience, this farm will give better rates, is easier and cheaper to build, and hasn't that much breakage. You'll find all the materials you'll need for this one in a pinned comment. Now, this exact design has 4 cells and will give you 24 stacks of bone meal an hour, but this one right here has 11 slots and will give you the mentioned 48 stacks of bone meal an hour. You could even extend this out to a total amount of 14 0-tick kelp cells. I'll show you a quick tutorial on this design, but this is very easy expandable out to one of these designs because you just have to add more of these cells. When building it, I really recommend chunk aligning it like this so that you are sure that this isn't built on a chunk border. If you don't know how to find chunks and chunk borders, then check out the video that is linked in the video description. There I show you exactly how to do this step by step. Now, the first thing you want to do is to dig out 2 blocks, something like this, and then you want to place a redstone torch right here and a redstone dust. You want to place some blocks on top and a redstone repeater in between. Then place a lever and flick it and extend out some redstone to this direction. And then you want to place 4 pistons in front. These have to be sticky. By doing this, we have created a redstone clock for these sticky pistons. The next step to do is to take some sand and place exactly 8 blocks in this shape. And then you want to place 2 rows of blocks with pistons in that direction on top. This will be the harvesting piston, so harvest all the kelp that will grow in this farm. Now make sure that all the blocks below the piston's arms are empty. Then go ahead and build a wall that has the height 5 blocks on both sides of the whole thing. Now place some blocks right here, some trapdoors at the side like this, and then place 3 more blocks on both sides in this shape and some more blocks on top. Then just place 2 rows out of glass below. Now you want to dig out a hole that has this exact size, and in it you want to place a double chest, some hoppers all funneling towards the chest, these will be the hoppers below the composters, which we want to place on top. You have to crouch base in order to do it, and then place some more hoppers on top that will lead all the items in these composters. Then place double chests on top, make sure that they are covering all the hoppers, and then you want to come to the inside of the whole thing and place 4 more last hoppers leading towards the double chests. Grab your water and waterlog all of the 4 slabs you find right here. When you've done this, everything should look like this. Now go inside of the whole thing and place 4 kelp on top of the sand. The last step you have to do is to connect the pistons and the trapdoors to the whole redstone mechanism. To do it, dig out this block and place a redstone torch in the hole. Then place another redstone torch right here, a block on top, a redstone torch, 1 more block, 4 more blocks right here with redstone on top, and 4 more redstone leading towards the trapdoors. Now both the pistons and the trapdoors are connected, and if you build everything correctly, you should now be able to start the whole thing. As you can see, all the kelp will get somewhat duplicated, will drop into the hoppers, and all the finished bone meal will be in this chest. Just some safety facts to consider when building this thing, besides doing it not on a chunk border, is that whenever you leave a radius of 100 blocks or leave the whole game, then you want to shut the whole farm off to ensure that it doesn't break. Also, the maximum for one chunk is only 1 row out of slots, so 14 slots. You can't just go ahead and take this exact thing to right here, replicate it and build it. This won't work because it would be too much for the game. Also, earlier I had a design where kelp would clog up right here, and this is just fixed by that exact design. By just placing the wall 1 block behind, all the kelp will now drop into the hoppers. Just to show you that it actually does work, I now go ahead and turn on this massive thing, and as you can see, it will totally work. All the kelp will drop through these composters and the bone meal we get in this chest. As you can see, this is totally massive and will give you a total amount of 48 stacks of bone meal an hour. And this is enough for all your moss, sugarcane, etc. farms. Trust me, you won't need more than this. Now at the end, of course, I hope I helped you with these 3 farms and methods. If you have some other methods or farms you consider better than these 3, then please write them in the comment section of the video, along with all your video suggestions or questions you have to this or other farms. If you want to get in contact with me, you can do this on my Discord server. The link is in the description as well. And last but not least, if you want to support me, please like the video, subscribe to this channel and share it with your friends. And then I hope we see us again in the next video. See ya!